Okay, we are finally on the way to the gym. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, I don't know if you could tell in my demeanor this morning, but I definitely felt a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of stress, a little bit of restlessness, and I think that's just probably due to obviously the change in the routine, being in a different environment, being around different people, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. So I was definitely very frazzled, for lack of a better term, this morning, but we've got a handle on that now. Everything is sorted, everything is taken care of. We are on the way to get a juicy pump. Meal one has gone in. It was delicious. I almost fucked it up, but we saved it. Thanks to Caitlyn's troubleshooting, we saved it. And unfortunately, I had to make it myself, which is a slight inconvenience, but you can't win everything. But everything is sorted. It's actually not that cold in Melbourne. I don't know what everyone's really complaining about. Like I said, um, I'm just in a long sleeve and a shirt. Like it's nothing crazy. Everyone's rugging up like it's the middle of the Arctic. But we're going to go train. We have a full upper session today. I think I might have said earlier that it was push, but it's actually upper. So it'll be 2 back movements, 2 chest movements, a lateral raise, a bicep, a tricep. So the pumpiest of pumpy pump party sessions on a Friday. And then, I was having a little bit of anxiety about my house being messy because obviously I've been away, and when I left, I just kind of threw everything into a heap and ran out the door. So that's all been taken care of. And I kind of came to the conclusion and the realization that after I finish training, that all I have to do is eat my meals, do some client work, and I don't have to leave my couch for the rest of the day, to be perfectly honest with you. So, I mean, lifestyles of a professional bodybuilder, blessing and a curse at times. But yeah, I'm very, very grateful to be in the position that I'm in. I'm very, very grateful to have the people around me that I have, and the people that are willing to go out of their way for me without any thanks in return. I find it really, really difficult to be a burden and to ask for help, and I can very much get stuck in my own ways and stuck in my own head and isolate myself because I just feel like an inconvenience to people at times, and nothing makes me feel worse than that. So having the right people around you which can allow you the comfortability to be a burden and to lean on them when you truly need it is something that is very underappreciated, especially in a bodybuilding scene and in a bodybuilding world. If anyone's done a prep before, or if anyone's been around someone that's prepped before, there's a lot of sacrifice both ways, both with the person in prep and the people closest to them. Um, you know, it's not always sunshine and rainbows, but at the same time, it's not always detrimental and disastrous and disgusting, right? There's peaks and valleys, there's ups and downs, and I think it's always really important to make sure that we don't get too high or don't get too low. And we kind of take each moment, day, rep, meal, all of these things all encompassing. We just sort of take them as level headed and as calculated as possible. And it's all just data, right? At the end of the day, it's all just data, and what we decide to do with that data is entirely up to us, or in this case, Justin, as he has to navigate a lot of the data. So he was really, really happy with sort of where we're at. Uh, After some check-in photos this morning, we both sort of stipulated that I'm definitely still very, very flat. I still definitely have a considerable amount of room in my weight cap. So in terms of spilling and filling, that's definitely not an issue. So I would certainly say that for the last sort of 5 weeks of prep, where I'm probably not going to be hungry. The way that my body is in routine and rhythm right now in terms of consuming calories and putting them in the right spots, it almost feels like we can't eat enough food right now, which is something that I'm always kind of stressing over, because I do find that my midsection is one of my biggest strengths, and I don't want to jeopardize that in any way, shape, or form. But at some point in time, there's got to be some give and take of sacrificing a slight bit of conditioning to bring that fullness and the overall size that you kind of need to be competitive on a pro level at this point in time in bodybuilding, because some of those open pros are just enormous. Unless you're a freak of nature with the insertions of sort of rough diesel, and a lot of those guys in the open Olympia and the top Olympia are you know taller guys that are maxing out their cap, and that's that's quite confronting. But at the same time, it's exciting and it's challenging, and it's where I want to be. So that's the level that I want to get to. So if that means pushing conditioning to the point where it's so ridiculous that we can sacrifice a little bit of it to bring fullness and still be like gnarly dry and peeled, then that's what we do. And I'm never one to shy away from work. I'm never one to shy away from putting in that effort to get that little extra 1%, and doing everything I can in order to make that happen is what I'm willing to do. So we've just pulled up to the gym. I am going to get some steps just to warm up and help that big first meal digest, and then we'll do some stretching, some rolling, mobility, warm up, because I mean it's not ice cold, but it's also not Queensland, so I'm very, very excited. So let's go train. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Which is exciting. So that lower demeanor from this morning is subsiding, and the excitement around training is being amplified. So this could get good really, really quickly, and then it could fall into a heat like quite dramatically. So you never really know with prep. We're teetering on a fucking knife's edge 24 hours a day. So we'll take what we can get. I've been smashing water today too, so I'm assuming because of the excess sodium that we put in yesterday, I usually put in like, I think it's around 5 or 6 grams of salt per day. So adding like a quarter or a third of that yesterday, pushing it up to 8 grams, has really kind of dehydrated the shit out of me. So I've been smashing water in, which is a good thing. A lot of people are sort of like, I posted on Instagram this morning talking about, you can tell I'm feeling good because I'm happy to chat now. You I got a pump and I'm feeling okay. So I like posted on my Instagram that I sort of put 8 liters of water in today or yesterday. Everyone was like baffled at how that was manageable. It's like, it's really not that hard, right? So you wake up, you drink 600 mils to a liter straight away. Usually I would. And then, I've got 2 or 3 hours in there before meal one where I'm doing cardio and grocery shopping and running errands and cleaning the house. Easily put another liter of water in there pretty easily. Then I'll eat pre-workout, and then I'll train. So you can easily put a liter of water in during training and then mix your pre-workout with 600 mil. So there's almost 4 liters right there, and it's 1 o'clock. So then you get home, have a post-workout meal, and then you sort of aim to put 2 liters of water in between that and meal 3, and then another liter between that and meal 4, and then another liter between meal 4 and bed, and there's 8 liters of water. It's not rocket science, but like anything else, you just need to be prepared. And you need to be a little bit more calculated about it. The problem is people don't have a solid game plan. They don't prepare properly. I don't know how you do that. Well, I lay it out so that I can do that. Be a little bit more premeditated with what you do. It's the age-old adage of you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. So vice versa. It's a secret. So the gym is empty today, as Ronnie Coleman would say. The gym is empty today. The gym that I train at just opened a second location or a third or fourth location or whatever, like 20 minutes from here. So it's, what up, bro? Oh, yeah. Good. What can I do for you?
I was just wondering, to ask you a question about like bloods and that. I've been getting my bloods done normally, like from a GP and stuff like that. But is there anything like specifically you do? Like, do you go to a certain thing?
Okay.
I just always like asking other people. It's good to have as much.
Okay. My advice would be pay someone, dude.
Yeah.
Like in all seriousness. So yeah. So I do all mine myself, so I can't really give you anyone to go to.
Yeah, you know exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I know what I'm looking at, so yeah.
Sometimes when I bring up HCG to people, obviously I'll bring that up to you, and you say it hasn't ever been a problem for you, but certain people obviously it has been.
Well, everyone's different. It's like anything. Everyone has a different response, and like everyone's genetic predisposition, something is going to be different. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Cool.
And then how often do you donate blood? That's something
I don't.
You don't do that?
I don't need to.
Yeah, mine's very awkward as well. But...
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, man. Have a good one, dude. Yeah.
But basically, he just wanted an entirely free consult, and for me to tell him what to do, where to go, who to speak to, and he wanted to pay me. So that's great. So the gym is empty today, but it's clearly not empty enough because people feel like they can come to me for free advice 24/7. You notice how he just came up and just started talking to me? Didn't ask, didn't say sorry to interrupt, didn't, just walked up, asked for free advice, and then walked off again.